Bollywood has always had characters who leave a huge impact on you and make room in your memories. But mostly, these are the main leads of the film or the villains or the supporting characters. However, there are some characters in movies that have very limited amount of screen time and yet become iconic in that film and stay etched in your memories. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 most memorable characters with a minimum screen time. Keep in mind, we're not talking about usual cameos here, but we're talking about characters that have had a huge impact on the storyline and they have become memorable with less than 20 minutes of screen time. Now that we have that cleared, let's get started. Number 10, Zafar in Luck by Chance. Starting off with the Zoya Akhtar movie that gave us a glimpse into the real Bollywood. Luck by Chance is a movie about a struggling actor who's trying to make it big in Bollywood, and it not only had a good star cast but it had a ton of cameos. And along with that, we also had a character that stood out. Zafar Khan, played by none other than Hrithik Roshan. Hrithik's role was Zafar Khan, the typical actor or superstar as they've labelled him in the trailer, who has worked in many movies with one producer and simply wants a break with Karan Johar. Now, even though his character is not pivotal, his actions are a simple nudge towards the title Luck by Chance, as it's his rejected role that gives Farhan Akhtar a debut and makes him a star, which is so often the case in Bollywood. Now coming to the acting, he was effortless as the actor who's trying to achieve more in life, and he has made a small role memorable by giving us an effortless performance in the song Bawre. It was simply a delight watching him on screen. Number 9, Zahir Ali in Munna Bhai MBBS. Munna Bhai MBBS has a lot of small characters that have a big impact in the story and give us moments in the film with a message to live a more happier life. However, it's the character of Zahir Ali that feels the most real. He is a cancer patient who's struggling with the news of his illness, and he soon learns the simple motto of life, which is marne se pehle jeena seekh le. Zahir is played by Jimmy Shergill, and he plays the role perfectly right from his first scene being the best scene with some of his dialogues and him slapping Munna. This character is in the film only for 5 scenes including the song, yet we think it's more because of how well written, acted and fleshed out his character becomes by the end. Also, Zahir's death is a sad one as he begs Munna to save his life only for one more night, and this has a huge impact on Munna as well. Having such a big impact on the story with just 5 scenes is a wonderful achievement for a small character. Number 8, Zilgai in New York. We all now know that Nawazuddin is a talented actor, but back in 2009, Nawazuddin was still a small character actor and had previously done small roles in big budget films. And similarly, he had a very small role in the film New York where he played the character of Zilgai, a man who was wrongfully detained after the 9/11 attacks. And after getting released, he's having trouble adjusting to normal life. Although this might seem like a regular character in these sorts of movies, it's the performance by Nawazuddin that makes it special. His 3-minute monologue on how he was tortured while being detained is the most chilling part of the entire film. And according to Kabir Khan, that scene became the talking point of the set. So finally, Irfan Khan, who was also working on this film, saw the footage of that scene. He had tears in his eyes. And guys, seriously, if you have not watched this film, we highly suggest you watch it for the impact that Nawaz has on this film with that monologue and his small screen time. Number 7, Sambha and Shilo. This one makes the list simply because of how iconic the character has become. I mean, we all must have heard the name of Sambha at least once used in some version of Sholay ka dialogues. Portrayed by Mac Mohan, Sambha is a character that apparently only has 4 dialogues in the entire film, with Pure 50,000 being the most famous one. But the character has become more iconic because of the way his character was used in this film. His interaction with Gabbar, him sitting on top of the rocks with some 1970s swag, and just the way Mac Mohan played his character made it more memorable. Also, a shout out to Kalia played by Viju Khote, who could have made this list too, but somehow Sambha feels more of an iconic character. Number 6, Arif Khan, A Wednesday. Made at a small budget, this film was a hit. And we were like, finally, at least a deserving movie isn't a flop. So directed by Neeraj Pandey, A Wednesday is one of the best mystery thrillers in Bollywood. Not only is the story intriguing, all of the actors have justified their respective roles. Be it Anupam Kher as Prakash Rathod, Naseeruddin Shah as the common man, or Amir Bashir as Jai Singh. But we were thoroughly shocked to discover that Jimmy Shergill, who played the character of Arif Khan, the rough bad cop, had merely 10 minutes of screen time. How is it possible? He gave such an amazing performance and a memorable one to say the least. And 10 minutes? Well, everyone needs to take notes, as his performance in mere minutes is more memorable than someone's whole ass movie. Number 5, Perpendicular and Gangs of Wasseypur. Gangs of Wasseypur had a number of crazy characters who became memorable due to their acting and their dialogues. But most of these characters had time to grow on screen over the 2 films, while Perpendicular came and went like a fucking storm. Played by Aditya Kumar, Perpendicular was probably the most bizarre character of the entire film. He's basically a 14-year-old boy who's still in school who carries a blade in his mouth. And it was the mind of Anurag Kashyap that makes this character more wonderful as we see him rob a jewelry store, do a dumb bike stunt and dodge a bullet by merely an inch. All of this while having a slurred speech. मतलब अगर character हो तो ऐसा हो. His name is also Perpendicular because वो perpendicularly blade मारता है अपने teacher को, which is just fucking crazy. And that is why Perpendicular makes this list. He's a small character, but everyone remembers him when you talk about Gangs of Wasseypur. Number 4, Crime Master Gogo in Andaz Apna Apna. Who would have thought Crime Master Gogo would make this list? Andaz Apna Apna is a cult classic that everyone loves because its characters, its jokes, its writing, the spoof factor of it, all of it is done right. And apart from the two leads, the pivotal part of this movie were its villains. Yes, Teja, Rabbit and Bhalla were the main villains who did a lot of the villaingiri, but towards the end came Shakti Kapoor as Crime Master Gogo. Now, despite being a part of only the climax, this character stole the show. It obviously was written hilariously, but also Shakti Kapoor's acting just elevated it. Especially with his catchphrases like Aankhein nikal ke gotiya khelunga and all of those. And of course his ghagra. All hilarious. Number 3, Bob Biswas in Kahani. If a character gets a spin-off movie of its own in Bollywood, then that character has left a huge impact on the audience. And Bob Biswas did just that in 13 minutes. Yes, the creepy character of Bob Biswas had that smaller screen time in Kahani. Yet it left a big impact on the viewers because of its character and the way Shashwata Chatterjee played him. A life insurance agent by day and an assassin by night. Bob Biswas doesn't seem like an assassin but an ordinary man. Someone who can easily hide in the crowd. Someone you might know in your regular life. However, he's an assassin who carries a gun. His signature dialogue of Namaskar, 1 minute before he removes his gun out and pulls the trigger became an instant hit with the audience. And Shashwata Chatterjee played the character with such ease and calm that it made Bob Biswas even scarier. His smile, his small prayer after he has killed his victim and his mannerisms in general make this character iconic. Number 2, Rudar and Heather. The iconic opening shot of Irfan Khan in Heather sets the whole mood for his character. Although he only has a cameo appearance in this film, he gets his own heroic entry which no one else gets in this movie. As Heather is inspired from Hamlet, Rudar as a character is supposed to be the ghost of Heather's father. But not all supernatural occurrences from Hamlet are used here. So we see Irfan portraying the character of Rudar, which essentially means soul keeper. Rudar in this film is a mysterious character that gives Heather an account of what happened to his missing father while also provoking him to take revenge, and he changes the psyche of Heather. Irfan Khan also steals the show with his acting as he elevates the movie to a higher level with his presence and his wonderful dialogues. Overall, the character of Rudar may not be big, but he is easily the most influential character in the entire film. Number 1, Ajay Singh Rathod in Rang De Basanti. Rang De Basanti follows the lives of a bunch of carefree youth who just want to continue living their carefree fun lives. But they have this one friend that is their connection to the real world. And that character is the character of Flight Lieutenant Ajay Singh Rathod. As the name suggests, Ajay is a pilot for the Indian Air Force and is said to be married to the character of Soha Ali Khan. But tragedy strikes as his plane malfunctions and he dies in the crash due to faulty cheap plane parts. His death then lights a fire into the hearts of our heroes as they set out to seek justice for their friend. Portrayed by R. Madhavan, Ajay tries his best to explain to the group what patriotism means to him and how it's his passion to serve the country. R. Madhavan is on the screen for less than 20 minutes, but his impact on the story makes this film work. His dialogues in the pub gain more importance after his death as the guys finally realize what he meant in the end. R. Madhavan plays his character with honesty and is the perfect pivot for the story to change its course and give the push our heroes needed to change their attitude towards our nation. So guys, this was our video about the 10 characters who had less screen time but they made an impact on the film. Do let us know in the comments below, do you remember any such characters who had less screen time but made an impact that you liked? Let us know. Also, as usual, do let us know in the comments below what are the videos you want us to make next. Follow our social media handles to get to know us better, like and share this video and subscribe to Brainwash for more videos like these.